Okay, so it's no secret that Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense had an up and down, somewhat shaky start to the season, but fast forward to an absolutely incredible performance against the Bengals this past week, and it seems like the Birds got it all figured out. As not only did Jalen Hurts make a statement in this one as he looks to be getting back to his 2022 form, but it also seems like the Eagles made some big changes on the offensive side of the ball, really over these past few games that have paid off tremendously and helped save the offense. Plus, Jalen Hurts also had an awesome quote after the game, while Darius Slay just provided a big update on the injury he suffered in the Bengals game, and the Eagles defense has also seen a huge turnaround of its own because of multiple different things. So we're going to talk about that and all the other latest Eagles news starting right now. Hey guys, welcome to the Philly Fan 21 channel. If you're new, I'm Evan and I cover all things Philadelphia Eagles. And man, things are really starting to look up for this team, as of course, not only are they coming off what was easily their best and most complete win of the season against the Bengals on Sunday, but they are now also on a 3-game win streak, and their past 2-game stretch specifically has been historic, as this is the first time in 71 years that the Birds have had back-to-back road wins in consecutive weeks by 20 or more points. So that's definitely pretty impressive and shows a clear upward trend by this Eagles team after they hadn't gotten a single win by more than 14 points since the NFC Championship in the 2022 season. So again, it definitely feels good to be an Eagles fan right now, as they're starting to look more and more like that 2022 team that ended up going on to the Super Bowl. And obviously, yes, this doesn't mean that they are as good as that team or that they're gonna automatically go back to the Super Bowl, because they still got a ton more work to do before they even think about that. But again, it is great to see this team just trending in the right direction and starting to look more and more like a true contender with each passing week. And the turnaround really started at the bye week in week 5, as things have looked drastically different since then, and that's in multiple areas. I mean, take the defense for example, as ever since that rough showing down in Tampa Bay in week 4, they look like one of the best units in the league, as they didn't allow a single touchdown for 2 straight weeks after the bye, while also piling up the sacks in those games. And then in this last game against the Bengals, they held Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and those guys to just 17 points, while also getting 2 takeaways. So again, it surely has been quite the turnaround for the unit after a somewhat rough start, and specifically the fact that they got those takeaways this past game was a big deal, because that's 100% the area they've struggled the most in up to this point in the season, and it's such a crucial part of the game and something they're going to have to keep doing moving forward. So again, it was great to see them get a couple this past week, and defensive coordinator Vic Fangio actually talked about this on Tuesday.
Makes a huge difference. I mean, you know, those last 3 drives, not counting the last one, but you know, the 4th down stop is like a takeaway. The interception and then the quick fumble. I mean, 3 series get stopped right away and has a huge effect on everything. Both defense's confidence to make a play like that, field position for the offense. You know, I believe it was just a 7-point game on the 4th down stop, and all of a sudden we have the ball already in field goal range. So huge. They're huge plays.
Again, it is a great thing that the Eagles defense was able to actually get some takeaways this week, and hopefully they can continue to do it moving forward and the defense just continues to trend up. And speaking of trending up, there have also been a lot of individual players on the defense that have done that since the bye, probably none more so than Nolan Smith, who since week 5 has been statistically one of the better edge rushers in the league, as not only does he have 2.5 sacks in that time frame spread across the 3 games, but he also has a 25% pass rush win rate, which ranks 3rd in the NFL in that time, and a pass rush grade of 84, which also ranks 3rd. So safe to say that Nolan has been pretty awesome and really impressive, especially considering just what fans were saying about him before the season and in the preseason, because there were a ton of Nolan Smith critics and doubters, including myself, I must admit, but safe to say he's been proving those wrong in the past 3 weeks. And same goes for the Eagles linebacker group, as despite all the doubt and skepticism surrounding them heading into the year, they've been pretty darn good, as Zack Baun leads the Birds in tackles with 69 and ranks 11th in the league, and he's clearly been a positive impact player for the defense, while his counterpart Nakobe Dean has also been pretty good as well, and despite some mishaps and struggles with missed tackles at times, all things considered, he's just gotten better and better as the weeks have gone on, and now he ranks 22nd in the league in tackles with 58, and he's also been pretty good as a blitzer. And this past week, the duo of Baun and Dean was absolutely phenomenal, as they were the 2 highest graded linebackers in the entire NFL on Sunday, which is just so impressive, and it's also shocking just considering what we were saying about the linebacker position coming into the season, and how bad the Eagles linebackers usually are. So it's definitely a great thing moving forward to have those 2 guys playing at a high level at the linebacker position. But they aren't the only Eagles duo that has been extremely impressive lately. And don't worry, we're going to get into that and so much more in just a minute, but real quick, I do want to say, if you are enjoying this video and don't want to miss any other Eagles coverage or content just like this coming throughout the rest of this entire season, then make sure you subscribe and also really importantly, hit the notification bell so you are notified instantly when one of these videos is uploaded. Trust me, you guys are not going to want to miss any of the coverage I got coming on this channel. I cover the Birds pretty much daily here, so again, if you guys do want to stay up to date on all the latest news, then subscribe and hit that notification bell. It's completely free and it takes 2 seconds. And also drop a like as well, because that's free and it takes 2 seconds. Let's see if we can get to 800 likes on this video. And now, with all that being said, let's get back into the video. So as I was saying, in addition to Baun and Dean, the Eagles defense has another dynamic duo that has been extremely impressive really ever since each one stepped on the field this year, and that's the rookie combination of Quinyon Mitchell and DeJean. As they already look like bona fide stars in their first year in the league. I mean, let's start with Quinyon Mitchell, who just had another incredible performance against a top-notch receiver and offense with Jamar Chase and the Bengals, as he allowed just 2 catches for 12 yards, and overall on the season through 7 games, he's allowed just 18 catches for 224 yards and no touchdowns. So safe to say, Q is on the fast track to becoming one of the best cornerbacks in the game. And then you got DeJean, who has been absolutely amazing in the slot ever since taking over for Avonte Maddox, as not only was he the team's highest graded defender since he got the starting job heading into the game, but he also was the Eagles' highest graded corner in coverage, and he also had a crucial game-changing 4th down stop on Jamar Chase in the second half. So safe to say that the duo of Q and Coop has been on point as well. And on Monday, Nick Sirianni spoke about these two and gave them a ton of credit, while also explaining why they've had so much confidence in these two rookies to play big roles.
Again, you know, when you draft guys, you have high expectations for every guy that you draft. But things kind of play out as, you know, as camp continues on. And I think these guys have given us confidence in them since the day they've gotten here. I know Coop had a setback with, you know, with his injury. But, you know, as he was able to go, they've given us confidence in him. And so I think that, you know, it's not a surprise to us because we see it every day at practice of who these guys are. And so excited about where they are, excited about where they're going. They got to keep working every day. We know we're only as good as our next game, which is the next one coming up against Jacksonville. And so, but excited about their skill set and who they are. I think these guys are ultra competitive. The moment's not too big for them. I mean, they're going against one of the best wide receivers in the NFL yesterday, and they didn't blink. And so, you know, got a lot of respect for who they are and how they work.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the Birds have been right to trust these two, because I mean, the rookie duo already looks comfortable and confident out there, which has a lot to do with their attitude, like Nick Sirianni alluded to. And again, they've just been really good and a big part of the Eagles' defensive turnaround this year, while also really just filling those holes the Eagles had at cornerback and in the secondary coming into the season. But speaking of the cornerbacks, the Birds did actually just get some not so great news on the vet leader in that room, as Darius Slay did go down in this game versus the Bengals with a groin injury, which just piles onto the other injury struggles that he's had this year, and he didn't return. And then on Monday, Slay dropped the most recent episode of his podcast where he gave an update on his injury.
Let's get into the main point right now. I know y'all really concerned right now. You know how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling pretty good. You know, I saw a little tweak growing. I did it on the play, man, trying to drive on this route out of, you know, and then boom, felt it, you know, went to the sideline. And I'm like, yeah, man, I know I tweaked something real bad. I don't know how bad it is, though. I'll get an MRI in the morning, find out that information. But, man, hopefully I'll be able to go this week. If not, man, you can see that Isaiah is ready, but we'll get into that later on.
So you heard it there. Slay said he will have an MRI to further evaluate and diagnose what this injury is. And that to me makes it seem like this could possibly be an issue that maybe could linger on or cause him to miss some time. Now, don't quote me on that because that's just speculation, and we'll probably know more information later in the week. Heck, maybe by the time this video is uploaded, there will be more information out there. But if Slay does have to miss some time, that's certainly not ideal, but at the same time, I still feel confident in the guy that they got behind him in Isaiah Rodgers. I mean, just this past week when Slay went out, Rodgers came in and stepped up and helped create a crucial interception on Joe Burrow. And he also just played well overall, and he's a guy that would probably be a starter on a lot of other NFL teams, and at one point, he was a very good starter for the Colts. So again, if he does have to play, I'm confident that he'll step up and play at a high level. And it seems like Nick Sirianni feels the same way, as on Monday, he expressed that confidence while also praising Rodgers in a press conference.
Isaiah, I was able to spend the year 2020 with Isaiah and saw how special of a player he was when we were in Indy together. You know, his speed, his quickness, his knack for the football. And, his work ethic of how we constantly trying to work to get better. And since he stepped foot in this building, and we've been on the practice field with him, all we've seen him do is make plays and do things that we're glad we have him. But he has a unique skill set as far as his speed, his quickness, and then combine that with the way he works each and every day at practice to get better. And that's why we have faith in him. And he's tough. I mean, he's got great toughness. Like, being able to come back and play after the broken hand and play, like he's got great perseverance, great toughness, and he's done that, through his NFL career on and off the field.
I think it's safe to say that Isaiah Rodgers is a very high-level backup cornerback in this league, and again, if he does have to step up and play in Slay's absence, then I have no doubt that he will step up and have a solid performance just like he did this past week. But someone who had an elite performance this past week was quarterback Jalen Hurts, as he thoroughly outplayed one of the game's best quarterbacks in Joe Burrow, as he put up more passing yards in far less attempts while also making plays with his legs as well and not turning the ball over. And most importantly, he obviously led his team to a win in what was clearly his best performance of the year. And it was just awesome to see him play that way against a good opponent, especially after just all the criticism that he's faced recently, and I think it's safe to say that he's quieted all those critics down lately, as not only was he obviously phenomenal in this game, but really since the bye week, Hurts' numbers have been elite, as he's the only quarterback in the NFL to have 9+ total touchdowns and no turnovers since week 5, while his EPA is also first since the bye, and he has 0 turnover-worthy plays, and that comes after a kind of rough start to the year in both of those departments. So again, I think it's safe to say that Jalen Hurts has been playing some really darn good football as of late, and he made a statement in this game that he's still capable of being one of the top quarterbacks in this league. And he also made a statement regarding his approach and mindset following the game, as he told Mike Florio, quote, "A fool isn't a fool for making a mistake, a fool is a fool for refusing to learn. I'm going to learn from the things that went wrong last year." And I do think it's clear that he has learned from last year, and he has also learned from his and the team's struggles this year. And now he's playing much better because of it. And if he can keep this up and the Eagles offense keeps improving and they keep winning, I think I could definitely see Hurts possibly playing his way into the MVP conversation, but also much more importantly, the Eagles very well could accomplish their goal of winning the Super Bowl this year if Hurts continues to play like this. But while Hurts obviously does deserve a ton of credit for playing better, and the main reason for his improvement is him, I also think that you got to give a huge amount of credit to Kellen, Nick Sirianni, and the coaching staff for making some much needed changes on the offensive side of the ball that have really paid off for them. I mean, for example, in this game, you can clearly tell by Hurts' passing chart that he threw over the middle of the field a bit more, and they were targeting that area more frequently than they have in the past. And also, the Eagles have utilized being under center a lot more recently, as those numbers have continued to rise over the past few weeks. And this week, they were 10th in under center rate in the NFL, which is just insane considering how little they've used it in the past, including this season. And also, on top of a newfound commitment to the run game and pounding the rock, the Eagles also used the outside zone play a lot more this week, as their usage rate of that jumped from 7% up to 22% this past week. So I think it's clear that the Eagles coaches have been making tweaks and changes to the offense to just be more multiple and to be able to do a couple more different things, and Nick Sirianni confirmed that on Monday.
Yeah, just a little bit of that is just the way the game is played out, and different situations that happen in the game. I think we've had some big leads here the last couple weeks that probably make that number balloon even more. But it's good to just be multiple and some different things, but still do what you do well. And I think we've had a lot of success being in the gun, and also can have some success here under center. Different personnel groupings give you some different under center opportunities as well. And so, yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, so again, while he made it clear that things will vary from week to week, he did confirm that the Eagles have been doing different things by design, and that's going to continue moving forward. And so far, these changes have really paid off, as they've gotten better each week since the bye on the offensive side of the ball. Jalen Hurts is looking a lot better, Saquon Barkley looks unstoppable, and they're really just overall starting to click as an offense, and that's just so awesome, because I feel like as a fan base, we've been begging for the Eagles to make these changes on offense for so long. We thought we were going to get it at the beginning of the season with Kellen coming in, and then obviously they went through the slow start start and they had a bunch of injuries, but I think now after the bye week after week after week, we started to see some more of these changes implemented, and it's just so refreshing to see. And again, it's really paid off so far. So again, hopefully they can keep it up and keep making the necessary adjustments and changes for the offense to continue thriving. But now the Birds will obviously be taking on the Jaguars this week in their first Kelly Green game of this season. So you guys know I'm already going to be covering everything leading up to that matchup, as well as just all the other Eagles news throughout this entire season. So again, make sure you guys subscribe and turn on notifications if you don't want to miss anything, and also drop a like to show some support if you did enjoy this video. It really does help me a ton, and again, it's completely free. So hit the like button. Let's see if we can get to 800 likes today, and also leave a comment down below just regarding anything I talked about in this video. And if you want to watch another video going over the Eagles' dominant win over the Bengals, you can check this out right here. And now with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.